Hello, good day. For this session, I will be teaching you and showing you on how we can configure field rules workflow to auto-populate other fields based on user inputs here in Zoho Creator. So basically what we will be accomplishing for this automation is that every time the system detects an input in first and last name, we will be automatically populating the customer type to individual. So from here, let's go here to the Edit this application button, then choose the workflow tab. As you can see, we have a variety of options here, but we will be focusing on this tab, which is the form workflows. So let's proceed on creating one. Select the form or the module. So as you can see, we will be selecting the customer. Then select the record events. So we have here multiple options. So we have created, the edit or update. We can also do both and the delete it as well, but for now let's just focus on created on or edited record events. Then the form event, this one here we will be selecting the field rules as the workflow type for this automation. Then let's give it a name, then create. Then let's add the action. So as you can see, aside from populating the fields, which is this one, we also have the option to hide, show, enable, and even disable fields. But for now, let's just focus on this one. And let's also add a condition or criterion when will this action will be taking place. So let's add. So as I've mentioned earlier, we will be triggering this action when the system detects that the first name is not null or is not empty, and also the last name is not also null. So basically what will happen here is, if it satisfies all the criteria that we have here, since we are using the AND not the OR, we must satisfy everything here first before we can proceed to the action, which is the setting of field value. So let's select this, then customer type, let's set this to individual. Let's save and let's click this done so that we can actually test if we are successful to configure the automation. Access the application, then let's say. So as you can see, it automatically set the customer type to individual upon inputting the last name. Let's try moving this one. So as you can see, once we remove either of these value of these fields, the customer type will be reset as well. Let's try this one. As you can see, it automatically resets. So that's it. That's how we can easily populate other field based on user inputs here in Zoho Creator using the field rules workflow. So that's it. Thank you and have a great day. Hello, good day. For this session, I will be showing and teaching you on how we can automate some actions during form load here in Zoho Creator, as well as actions that will be triggered upon form submission. So what we will be trying to accomplish for this session is, here in the customer form, we will set some default values here in the address section or address fields, and also we will be restricting the submission if the system detects that the customer email is not present or is empty. And also we will try to update the default successful message or display message once we submit or successfully submit the customer entry. So let's begin to add the form load first. So here we have already edit this application button. Let's just click this one. Under the workflow tab, we have here the form workflows, and then let's try to create new workflow. So let's just select the customer as the target form. And for the record event, we will be selecting both created or edited, so that this automation will take place in either creation or edit page of the customer form. So let's just select this one. For the form event, we will be selecting the load of the form. Let's just give it a name and then let's create. So just a disclaimer, we will be doing some basic deluge scripting here, since that's only the available actions that we can set in the form load form event type here in Zoho Creator. So here, let's try to add a new action. Then as you can see, this is the deluge scripting. So let's start. Since we will be setting default values for these input fields, here we will just call this one by one, and then let's put some default value here in the scripting. So let's start in the address line 1. Address, then then also let's just copy this one so that it won't take much longer to set some values. The address line 2, also for the city and district, this one, then state and province, for the postal code, and then for the last one we have the country. So let's just save this one. Let's go back here. So let's just refresh this page if we are able to establish this automation already. So I'll refresh this one. So as you can see, we've managed to set some default values here in the address section or the address fields. So that's it. That's how we can, add some actions during form load here in Zoho Creator. Okay, let's proceed to the next one. Let's just close this one. Let's try adding the restriction or the validation of this email field on submit. So let's just create another workflow for that. Let's just use the same configuration that we have for the form and also the record event, but for the form event we will be selecting this one, validations on form submission. Let's just give it a name and then create. This is also in the form of deluge. So what we will be doing here is that we will be placing a validation that if the email field is empty, then the submission will be restricted and an email alert will be, alert message will be shown here. So to do that, let's just start by adding the validation. If email is empty, then let's alert the user, kindly add email address, and then let's restrict the submission. So that's it. Let's just save this one. Let's try testing it if we have managed to add that validation. So let's try submitting this one without any email input. So as you can see, kindly add email address. We've managed to validate the email field during submission. The same alert message that we have added here in this functionality. So let's try adding some valid email, then let's submit. So as you can see, we've managed to add that successfully since we have inputted the email. So that's how we can add validation using the validation on form submission workflow type here in Zoho Creator. So let's proceed on the last automation that we will be doing, which is the after successfully submitting the form. So the same tab form workflows, let's just add a new one, the same configuration as before, and then for the form event we will be selecting this after form submission or successful form submission. So what we will be doing here is that this one we will try to update the default successful message using this automation. So let's just give it a name. Then let's add some action. So aside from updating the default succession message that I have shown earlier, we have a couple of things also that we can do as well. We can add delete script, we can access data, we can also do integrations after form submission, and for the notifications we have multiple options as well, but for now let's just focus on showing the success message, so or updating this default success message here in Zoho Creator. So let's say this will be the one that will be shown instead of the message that I have shown earlier. So let's save it, and then let's refresh this one. Then let's try if we manage to update the alert message that will be shown here upon successfully submitting this entry. So let's just complete this. Then for the email, so as you can see, we've successfully override the default alert message based on what we have added here. So that's it. That's how we can automate form load actions, also the actions during submission and after successfully submission. That's all. Have a great day. Thank you. Hello, good day. For this session, I will be showing and teaching you on how we can set up a basic approval process here inside Zoho Creator. So I have here another form, which is the lead form. This is our target form for the approval process. So let's begin by tapping this edit this application button. Then under workflow, we have here the approvals. So let's create a new workflow. Let's choose the lead form. Let's give it a name. We can also set criteria or specify the records that will only be proceeding to the approval process by setting up some conditions. Let's say, for example, we wanted only to approve leaves with a type of annual then we can definitely do that. But for the sake of this demonstration, we will just stick to the always option here, so that we can target every record that will be submitted. So let's create this. So this is the approval builder. So let's try to add a new approver. So since we only have one user for this instance, I am the only available user here, so let's just select the current login user. Then we can also specify the label for the approval and rejection buttons during the approval process. But for now, let's just leave the default one, which are these ones. Then let's save this. Then aside from approving and sending an email to the submitter, let's do a couple of things also. Like for example, since we have the status here, let's automate also the updating of status based on the approver's decision regarding the submitted leave entry. So let's say for example, if it was approved, we wanted to update the status to approved as well, and to the reject part also. So here let's add a new action. So aside from sending email notification, we will let's use this one, update also the current record. So let's select the form, and then let's just update the current record status to approved. Save, and then the same goes here to the check part. Let's update the current record to declined or rejected. So let's save this, then click done. Alright, let's try testing it out. Let's, as you can see, we've upon saving that approval workflow, we've also added this another form, another module here in the sidebar, which is these approvals. So all the approvals will be stored here, depending, and also the completed will be stored here, or the ones that are being processed already. So let's try adding a leave form. Let's say medical, then for the start date, then let's set it as default and submit this. You can also add notes, but I have just skipped that part. So on submitting it, let's go here to the pending task. So this is the leave request that we have for that particular entry. And since we are the approval also, let's get started to verifying this entry by reviewing it. Then let's say it is qualified, or the conditions are met, then we can directly approve this by clicking this one, or reject if not. But for now, let's just try approving it. So it will reflect in the completed task, and the time stop for when it was approved is also logs for tracking back the history of the approval process. Then it's easy to navigate here. Let's go to the record also. So as you can see, we've managed to mark it as approved as well during the approval that we've established here. So that's it. That's how we can set up the basic approval process here in Zoho Creator. Thanks and have a great day.